welcome to Southern Cross Go. In this video I'll show you how to make virgin coconut oil and how to cook with bamboo. So let's go! This morning I've got a bit of green bamboo and I've got a bit of tapioca leaf and a bit of tapioca from around there where I got the banana leaves. So I'm going to show you how to cook in bamboo. Now check out this. This is an awesome find. This is tapioca, which is like a taro. Cassava they call it in a lot of countries. Now you can eat these leaves. You pick these leaves and you just boil them like a spinach, or you can fry them, and there's a great source of nutrition. Alright, so we're going to dig up a bit of tapioca and yeah, we'll cook some of that up. What a great find, this is awesome. Okay, so we've got a handful of leaves, we'll take that back and we'll see if we can find some green bamboo or something to cook it in, to steam it in, or some sort of vessel we can boil it or even fry it. Tapioca, great source of vegetable, and there's just shitloads of it here, so alright, let's try and dig up some tapioca. So we're going to follow these roots, follow these branches to the end where they go into the ground, and that's where the tapioca root will be. And we dig that up and yeah, looks pretty tangled in here, so anyway, we'll look for it. So what we do, and I'm going to put a bit of that coconut cream that I had in this with a little bit of fresh water I got, and we'll steam that off on the fire. And yeah, let's get into it. Let me show you how to cook with bamboo. And I got these little shellfish that I got this morning. Yeah, I've just been spooking around the edges in the shallows here, in amongst all these shells, and there's another one here. There's a heap of these, look. They're like little cockles. That'd be good, I might be able to cook them up. I've got a bit of green bamboo there, so I might be able to put a bit of coconut cream or something in there, boil it up in the coconut, in bamboo, and show you how you can cook in the bamboo. Beautiful. I'm just going to throw them in. Throw them in there. And I picked a bit of tapioca leaf when I was around there getting that tapioca. I've got a bit of tapioca here that I've cleaned up with a knife. I'm just going to plonk that in. It's not much because they weren't real big tapioca plants, so there was only a little bit there. But they're more or less just like a potato once you cook them. Put them in there too. Fill that full of some water. Stuff me tapioca leaf down in the top of it, and that'll help to block this off, and it'll start steaming in there, and later I'll just get a stick and pull that out. So that's all we're going to do with that. That's ready to go. So here's my fire. Just sit it up there like that, straight on the fire against the rock, and I'll just keep the fire going, keep a bit of flame, and before you know it, that'll be boiling in there, and that'll help cook the tapioca and the little shellfish. So we'll just keep that fire stoked up. Probably take about 15-20 minutes, and that bamboo there will start cooking and start boiling inside the bamboo. You can see how black that bamboo is now. You can hear it sizzling in there. You can see the steam coming out of the top, so it's starting to boil in there. So it won't be long till that tapioca's ready, and those shellfish. Okay, so that's boiling good now. You can just see the steam just pouring out of the top of this bamboo, so that's really boiling inside there. And the best thing to do is soak your bamboo if you can overnight in water. Well, I only had seawater, so I just submerge it with a rock on it all night to waterlog it a bit so it doesn't dry out and burn right through. You can just hear that boiling in that. That is really boiling all the way, so I reckon it's time. It's been on for about 20 minutes or so, and I reckon, oh shit, it's really hot. I reckon that's fully cooked, no problem. Alright, so we'll take that off. We'll have a look what we got. Okay, So I got the bamboo here, it's been cooked. I've let it cool down for about 10-15 minutes. It's so hot. I'm going to tip it out now here on the mat. And check out that. We've got the tapioca, looks well cooked. See the coconut tree's just gone watery and disappeared. This tapioca leaf is just like a spinach. So you can eat that just like a spinach. And I've got the little shellfish. Wow, they're still hot. So we'll crack them open and we'll see what they're like. Should be a good feed. Now check out these little shellfish. Really good. I've been pigging out on them. They taste really good. A little bit of sort of gutsy stuff in there, you just pull that out, but that little orange bit and a little bit of meat hanging off it, it's a good feed. Good stuff. So really, you just can't beat bamboo. It's got so many uses and it's really good to cook with. It didn't take long. Within 5 to 10 minutes it was already boiling and steaming away in there, and you know, it didn't take long at all to cook that feed. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't a bad feed. I feel a bit full now, so it might be time to go and have a swim. So all you do is you get a plastic bag. This is an easy way to do it, is in just a plastic bag. You grind up all your coconut, chop it up as fine as you can with a knife, or grind it up if you've got a grater or whatever. And then if you've got warm water, fill it with warm water. And then I'll let that sit in the sun, probably is a good thing. Just let it heat up. When it's warm it's better, it helps the oil retract from the coconut. And we'll just let that sit for about an hour. Okay, so I've let that sit in the sun for about an hour. Just to let that coconut, ground coconut, soak in the water. So what I'm going to do now is squeeze all the coconut out of the water. I'll just show you how to do that. Okay, so what you do is you just put your hand in the bag, squeeze all the coconut out. You'll be left with all that coconut fibre. Now that's good stuff. You want to keep it, you can eat it. It's fibre and it's calories. It's a little bit tasteless because most of the flavour and oil is left and gone into the water. But just squeeze all that out. And all that coconut fibre that you squeeze out is really good to eat. It tastes great. It's a little bit flavourless, but it's better than eating nothing. Okay, so when you've squeezed all that coconut fibre out of there, just tie off your bag. Tie off your bag, and what I'll do is I'll hang that up in the tree here and we'll let that separate. And what'll happen is it'll all separate and all the thick coconut cream will go to the top and all just the water will just end up on the bottom. And I'll come back in about, you're better off setting it for as long as you can. Let it sit for as long as you can, maybe an hour or two, a couple of hours, 3 hours. And I'll come back to you when that's separated and I'll show you how it separates into cream. At the moment that is just coconut milk. You can cook with that, you can drink with that, that's fine. But if you want the real thick coconut cream, you've got to let it sit and separate. Okay, so I've let this sit for over an hour, and as you can see now it's separated. You can see all the way and the water shit's gone to the bottom, and this is all the thick coconut cream on top. So what we'll do is we'll separate the two. All I'm going to do is pinch the bottom off the bag and drain all the way off, all the watery stuff off, just to leave the coconut cream on top. And carefully draining all the water down, all the water off it. Until we're down to the cream level. You squeeze all the cream out. Okay, so we've just got that on the gas cooker. Got me stirring a bit of bamboo. And we'll just let that boil off until the oil separates. It'll go really brown and it'll clump up and go sort of clumpy. And we'll just let that boil for about, probably takes about a good 20 minutes. So I'm starting to separate all the cream. It's going all clumpy, starting to get a bit darker. So it's really starting to change colour now. It's going brown. You can see the oil starting to separate. All that water's evaporated, and all that other liquid there is just the oil. Alright, So you can see that's gone nice and brown now, so we'll turn the heat off. We'll let it cool down a bit. So all that liquid stuff in there is just the pure coconut oil. So I'll show you how to strain that off. And that is how you make pure coconut oil. And yeah, I'll be using that to cook with, or you can just drink it. It's calories, and in a survival situation, any calories are good for you. Okay.